everybody. Welcome to Waffle Talk, the Twitch show where we discuss another Twitch show called Dice Camera Action. Today we're going to talk about episode 133. Shauna, can you please run down what happened on this episode?
All right. Picking up where we ended up last time with the auction devolving into basically a multi-part battle between the Waffle crew, Jarlaxle, the Centaurum, and now the Harpers over the stone. The Waffle crew take damage and deal out some damage before they decide to use their get out of jail free card and just like port out of where the auction was being held at the Waffle House. But at the same time, at the Waffle House, before the Walker arrives, the Black Viper breaks into the Waffle House, looking for either a cricket pie or the Waffle crew, and has a minor Home Alone session with the kids as they try to basically kill her but she's being a high level, manages to fight them off until the fight ends up in the Waffle House, where the forces that were at the auction reconverge and fight over the stone, which with DF gives to Paulton. Paulton sticks in a bag of holding. Paulton is attacked, and right before the episode ends, the tap room basically is enveloped by otherworldly tentacles, and Simon is shot. I mean, not Simon. Simon is attacked by imps as life
stung with a stinger.
Yep, life leaves his eyes right before Paulton also falls unconscious after being attacked by the imps. So we're left in a precarious position, which is, considering this is a part 1 of 2, not entirely unexpected.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a stinger.
Yes, also, yeah, unfortunately, Paulton put the bag holding near his junk, so, like,
Oh!
That's what he said. It's like, and then the thing's attacked, it's like, that was a bad decision.
Hello to Lookatroopa and Sima. Anybody in the chat, if you type something into the chat, it will come up on the screen. So be cool. You know what I mean? Don't spell out any naughty words. Sima says, I can't believe Simon is dead again.
Neither can I.
It seemed pretty clear at the end of this episode. Hi, Vixen. It seemed pretty clear at the end of this episode that Simon is dead. Dead.
Yeah.
Dead.
Little boy Simon.
Mm-hmm. Again.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Again.
Yeah. Oh, Simon. Not. You can type the phrase naughty words, but slippery
walking
slope.
A thin line.
Slippery slope. Simon's dead again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Should they leave him dead? I say yes. Go.
They won't.
Panel.
They're not. They're not going to.
Discuss.
Yeah, I agree.
They're not?
I think I actually had a discussion about this with like a friend about like death in D&D and how it's almost too easy sometimes. Just bring someone back,
Yeah.
Because it's almost like it'd be more narratively satisfying if he stayed dead. But at the same time, he's an NPC they like, and it's all complicated.
The way he died was so sudden that it would feel weird if it was permanent.
Yeah.
Agreed.
In that case, I would say if you're going to make sure it's permanent, then it should probably be a little bit more, at least described more in detail.
Yeah, it should be a bigger deal, because we just, like 2 episodes ago, just got over Warrington Munt being killed. So, like,
yeah, it
has to count. Yeah,
we're still getting over Warrington Munt.
Yep.
Right. We're in the early stages of grief. Now you're trying to drop this on us. I reject it wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
It's like, Yeah, they were looking for what was it, blast powder, and there's no more blast powder in the house anymore.
No.
Unsurprisingly, I think. Yeah.
I mean, there's not much of the house left. Let's just say, like.
Okay. Luca Troopa says that the way Strix's name is stylized in that illustration on the screen makes it look like it's TSR to the ninth. That's one of the reasons I like it. Yeah, I think that was that logo Holly made, and I commissioned an artist to do a drawing of Strix, and they included that. Let's see. Vixen, Simon deserves life. Also, I think Chris has too much fun with Simon. Totally agree.
Agreed.
Chris doesn't want Simon to die. He doesn't.
No. He'll kill him, but
it won't stay. It won't.
He won't.
Stick.
Yeah.
Do you think even if Chris liked the NPC, would he just?
I think he'd let them stay dead. Yeah. I think he talked about that in his old DM's experience column a bit. Yeah. Where like he created a really great villain and he put a lot of time and effort into them, and then they died, and it was like, okay, well,
back to it.
Shit.
It's funny when in NPCs in D&D, a lot of people write about this, how they'll spend a lot of time on an awesome NPC they can't wait. And the group has no interest at all in this NPC, but they like the person that you just made up on the spot.
Yep.
It happens over and over.
My most successful NPC like ever was a random kobold waiter that I made up on the spot. So
really?
There you go. Yeah. He joined the party and became a hero.
Mine was Steve the Watermelon, a talking watermelon that heckled the group in a city whenever they walked by. But they couldn't bring themselves to do anything to the watermelon because the watermelon was owned by this old guy who had no friends or anything. Aww. Steve was his only companion.
Oh.
So every time we played, the first thing they would do is go see Steve because they had some good comeback that they came up with to use on him.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. Hello, Akapan. Thank you very much for jumping in.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Troopa. It is easy for the DM to make bringing people back difficult. Yeah, because I mean, like, what, with Ray's dead, they have to be willing to come back, right? So
it's true. Yeah.
They can just say, I don't want to come back.
Yeah. And Look at Troopa also makes a good point. Outsider interference is always kind of on the table. Like with Warrington Munt, how like his body wasn't his body anymore. He was now an illithid, or a necromancer could like trap their soul or something. So I can see it, but
Simon says just throw 3 500ths of that cloak sail at him, and he's good again. That's just how high level D&D death works. Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah,
so it was weird. Simon got stung to death by some imps, so he still doesn't really have any hit points. And I guess they'll have to raise him. I feel like there's going to be some kind of complication, though.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
I don't think it's going to be quite as simple as just bringing him to the church and having him raised. I don't know. I just get the sense that maybe there will be something more to this.
That's a good point. If they took him to the Church of Lathander, the Talastin is in charge now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure she's working with Jarlaxle, who in this episode wanted to come to the Waffle House with them when they left the auction, and they didn't take him.
They did not.
They just left him there.
They are on the last few threads of his good graces at this point. Evelyn can't protect them forever.
You're so rude to him.
Mm-mm.
He keeps trying.
He keeps trying to play nice, and it's just like, don't take.
They just don't want him to.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, something's gonna happen. He's a master of disguise. Maybe he'll do something really nasty to them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
infiltrate their house somehow.
Very possible. If they get the gold, he might just steal it from them again.
Oh yeah, that's always possible.
I have a big pile of notes from this episode. Just I was a little confused about a few things, so maybe somebody can clear this up for me as we go.
Okay.
First thing I wanted to note: Paulton counterspells Amalia Castellanter, And then he cast banishment on her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she went away, right? Yeah. So he's getting comfortable with the high level stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
He's all over that counter spell now.
Oh yeah,
That's probably his favorite spell
it's a
besides
good
suggestion.
It's super frustrating. It's frustrating to the NPC as a layer doing. It's like, gotcha. No.
And banishment is definitely one of those spells that, as a DM, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it kind of like it changes the game because you think, oh, we're gonna have an encounter now, then there's no encounter.
Yeah.
Like,
or oh yeah, this is enough monsters to throw at them, and then they banish like the main monster, and you're like, oh,
yeah. And
well,
then it's like also you have to think about banishment and how is this their home plane,
mm-hmm.
which can lead to all sorts of weird, wacky things, which is fun.
Yeah.
Like if banishment gets cast on Strix, where is she going?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Paulton and Diath, so it could lead to a lot of fun things, but it's going to completely change the whole session.
Mm-hmm.
So they're getting into those higher level spells that kind of. So it's going to be fun to watch Chris run and see how he handles all of those things.
I
He
know.
just gets wackier from here.
Oh yeah. I know.
Totally.
My party is really high level, the one I DM for, and like when they started getting like 6th level up, everything was like, oh god, I can't plan for this.
It's like you can't contain them in like the walls of the dungeon. It's like, well, we can plane shift out of here. That's like, all right, I have to think about like where they're going or where they can go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we need this item. Okay, I'll just wish for it.
Yeah. Or like things like locate object, locate.
Yeah, locate objects. Like I've had that
Object.
like just like kind of bypass like puzzles. Like locate is like, dang it.
Yeah. And then it's like as a DM, if you kind of are always blocking those spells, then people start to resent it because it's like you're not letting them use their things that they have. But it's hard to plan a session around all that stuff or to keep that into consideration and know that that could happen. It's hard because they're capable of so many things. It's just hard to keep it all. And some of them can completely derail the whole thing. So it's
they can.
Tricky.
Yeah.
Tricky. It's like, my fear is always, how do I fill a session? It's always my thing. So I'm always
it definitely becomes much more of a like D&D is always kind of improv-y, but definitely there you have to always have something on the back burner just in case.
Yeah, the tough one is like not when the entire party went. It's when they split up into like 2 or 3 different places. It's like,
oh god,
oh no, and you didn't have it. It's like, oh no.
Let's see. Vixen says they haven't raised Father Sunbright yet. Would they even raise Paulton? Would the church even raise Paulton?
They do have bodies.
If Evelyn asked them to, they would. Right?
Their bodies are, Simon's bodies intact.
Saint Evelyn.
Yeah.
Marthane.
Yeah. And does Evelyn have Revivify yet? Because she could just.
I don't actually. Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Remember.
I should check the
paladin spells.
Yeah.
Simon says they're also walking a very thin line. Look at Trupa. I'm not 100% sure about the Forgotten Realms cosmology is like currently. Would Simon be in the fugue plane, or would he be sent straight to whatever outer plane is alignment appropriate? Good question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The speed of which of the body, like the spirit leaves the body and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We have a little bit of time.
The Realms does have that fugue plane still, though, right?
Yeah.
It does. Yeah. That's where Kalimvor and the Wall of the Faithless, all that is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That'll be another thing to see how Chris handles.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Simon.
Also, I checked. She would have Revivify as a 11th or 12th level paladin.
Okay, good.
So if she gets them quick enough.
Yeah.
Saima says Sunbright needs true resurrection, while Paulton and Simon would only need raised dead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Here's another one. Evelyn casts Sunbeam on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The bar bed devil.
I was thinking the same thing. Chris said it's so weird.
It's a barbed devil. It's got
Barbed
barbs
devil,
on it.
Barbed.
Is this a case of he jokingly referred to it as a bar bed devil so long that that's his go-to now? He just automatically calls it that?
Maybe it could be like the whole cursed thing.
Yeah, it could be like
just different pronunciation of the same.
It is barbed, right?
I say it barbed.
I say barbed, yeah. But I mean, regional dialects can change it up definitely.
Canadians. I don't know.
I don't know what a bar bed would look like, but I guess it'd be uncomfortable.
A bar that you're sleeping on?
Oh, I was thinking of like bars of a jail cell.
Oh, jeez.
A bar bed. Oh, well, and a bar bed that would get weird.
A little bit, yeah.
Shouldn't do that. Sima. Now, if only Evelyn saves to the the dancing.
Yes.
That's actually my next note. Evelyn ends up river dancing for most of the episode.
It's a good spell.
This was an interesting situation because it was like she thought it was funny and thought her character would go with it and not even make the saves. But because of that, she didn't get to do too much for the whole episode.
Yeah.
And then she couldn't make the save when she wanted to.
Yeah.
I think in that case, the better choice probably would have been make the save, but just continue dancing for fun, I guess.
No, that's true. Definitely the hardest part about that spell is that it takes your whole action to make the saving throw. Because I have a bard who does that all the time.
It's a good.
And so my monsters always have disadvantage unless they use their action. It sucks.
It's bad. Yeah.
It really sucks.
Sima, so would have cast Curse on the Devil. Would have been a cursed bar bed devil. Yes.
It would have.
Look at you. I know they want to be more all-inclusive in terms of cosmological models, but I would like some updates on the status of the Great Wheel now that it's presumably been 120-ish years. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing Chris run the group through Planescape stuff, you know?
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot. And Out of the Abyss, they had Modron March stuff. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
The Maze Engine.
Yeah.
It didn't. I ran the Maze Engine. It didn't quite work right, but it was a really cool idea, and I think if you tweak it, you could make something really cool out of it.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's like the way that Chris describes the Doomguard. It's old Doomguard and not die back to die like post.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
They brought the factions back. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah, that's good.
Because the Doomguard, some of the factions just either like totally like dissolved or they were absorbed into other.
Yeah,
from what I understand, right at the end of Planescape's run, they put out Faction War, which split up the factions, and there was going to be another product which put them back together, but they never got to make that product.
So they just had them split.
But then in third, when they did discuss it in Dragon and stuff, they kept it the way it was. They didn't put it back together. So it's interesting to see now that they are putting it back together.
And in fourth edition, they're also still apart because there's Sigil stuff in the second Dungeon Master's Guide, and it has the Sons of Mercy, who the Mercy Killers kind of dissolved into, stuff like that.
I ran that adventure. I distinctly remember running that. It was so strange to me to run a Planescape adventure in fourth edition with fourth edition rules and fourth edition maps. It was so weird, but it was very strange. It was cool though.
They've actually done a lot of that in fifth edition, where there's older lore where like this and that happened, but in fifth edition they've kind of rolled it back where it's almost back to like where it was in second edition.
I feel like they put stuff wherever people liked it best.
Yeah, because I think definitely like people did. It seemed from what I gather, like the faction war stuff, the way that ended, didn't really like a little messy. Got a little messy.
I've never run post faction war Sigil, so I don't know, but I really love the Krieg stands and the factions and stuff. So
There's
the more of
so
that.
many of them. So many.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
It took me so long to wrap my head around it. I still can't keep them all.
Some of them kind of like, some of them kind of like, I get them mixed up like
Yeah.
There's the
all the time. They're
there's
so
the
close in
Avatar,
alignment. Yeah.
And like
Believers and
then they have a
Soldiers.
name and a nickname.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, come on, man. So like you're reading a book and it's like you have to remember both names of each faction because they use them interchangeably. It's just like, come on, just stop it. You're killing me.
Harmonium and Hardheads.
You're killing me. Yeah, like the Godsmen.
Godsmen and Believers. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Each of them have like their own like little like nickname.
It's like
casual name.
The barrier to entry is already so high,
Mhm.
and you're just making it's at an impossible level. First, you got to know how to play D&D. Then you got to know that there's different settings. Then you got to buy the different settings and learn all about the setting. Then you have to learn the weird nicknames for the factions in your weird setting.
The one thing that I
so it's like you say to your friend, "Hey, you want to play D&D? We're in Planescape," and it's like, good luck,
Yeah, I think it was a good instruction. Like watching the Holly's game was like easing people into it, just like have them appear, and then slowly bring in the factions, like one faction and then just kind of branch out from there. Yeah.
And I know when I ran a short little Planescape game, we had a session 0 where I gave them like a list of the factions and like a one sentence, here's what they believe in.
Yeah.
And they picked factions, and I basically just focused on the factions they picked,
Yeah.
So we had a Doomguard, a Harmonium, and 2 members of the Fated. So I was just like, okay, those are my 3 factions.
Yeah. It's like you kind of have to start off slow just because like I've also had that problem like explaining just Sigil as a place. It's like it's a lot. You just see people like, okay,
there's the factions, there's Shemeshka, there's Estevan, there's
not even to that. Just like it's in the middle of like the outlines on like a
Infinite Spire.
It's like
describing how it's on the inside of a hollow donut.
Yeah.
That's very hard to describe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need a diagram.
Yes.
There's like that had a good map, and it's like that was like the best thing that made me so happy.
Fourth had some really nice maps of Sigil. That really helped. How big do you guys think the chance is that the Waffle Crew will become pirates next season with the new module coming out? I think the new one is an anthology. And
it is.
I know that Tales of the Yawning Portal, which came out a year or 2 ago, was also an anthology, and the show completely skipped it.
Yeah, because I think they still haven't gotten to the big like sister book to this thing, which is the Mad Mage stuff. So
yes,
they'll have that.
Some other shows should do the anthologies.
Yeah,
they probably will. I assume so.
White Plume Mountain needs to be done.
White Plume Mountain is I've seen that done. I think Roll20's done the White Plume Mountain, and it is.
I like
watch that one. It's just like you just see people who played like who haven't played it before, just like this. What the hell?
It's awesome.
Super
yes,
tennis.
Yes, it is.
Super tennis was the thing that they got first. Like, what is super tennis?
The 3 weapons in it, I absolutely love. I love Wave, Trident of the Deep.
Yeah, there's a room in there that I think is the most complicated room I've ever seen in any D&D game. The the cigarette.
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
That thing is a
cool room though.
It's a cool room, but just like envision someone drew what the thing and it is wild. It's wild what that thing looks like if you're to like not take it from like taking it realistically looking. It's strange.
Yeah.
Look at Troopa. I'm working with Planescape factions in the Blood for Adventure that I've been working on for the past few months. Waiting for Saltmarsh to see if there's anything I can tie in from that. Yeah, I don't know much about the Saltmarsh stuff. Look at Troopa. Which isn't to say that I'm expecting Planescape stuff in that adventure. I'm more so curious about the aquatic elements. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of Planescapey stuff in that book.
Yeah.
But it does sort of feel like it's time for Planescape. I'm kind of wondering if in June that will be the new announcement, that it'll be like a Planescape planer adventure.
Yes, please.
Yeah, because it seems like how long has it been since the Ravnica book came out? That was earlier this year.
That was November, right?
November, yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
maybe 6 to 8 months between like if you're going to do another. Although it would be weird. It would be odd. I think it's probably going to be like Spelljammer because you don't want like there's
I would die.
Planescape and Ravnica are so close
I would
in their kind of arrangement.
I would
'Cause it's the
love
factions
it.
in the city, yeah.
Would love it if it was Spelljammer.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that there's definitely hints for quite a few different settings in Mad Mage.
Yeah.
Like there's some Greyhawk stuff, some Spelljammer, some Planescape, just all sorts of stuff in there. So.
Yeah.
I feel like they've done dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like it's time for something a little more
out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I agree for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Still a lot of stuff to touch, you know. It's just the only thing about saying Spelljammer is I know that it's always been like a niche thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That especially back when it came out, it was not. Most players did not want to touch Spelljammer. They didn't want to give it a try. So it was. I don't know. I would guess that there's a lot more interest in a Planescape book than there would be in a Spelljammer book. But I could be wrong. But you know, although things are so different now, who knows? You know?
Yeah, that's true. I think Spelljammer's definitely gotten more of an audience now than it probably did when it first came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people love GIF and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Space hamsters.
All right. Sima. There's still only two things I know about Sigil. It's a donut, and there's a lot of doors. Yes. Well, there you go. That's you are correct.
Yes.
Look at the Lazarati Planescape maps are still my favorite. Yeah, those are pretty cool. Some of them were a little. I don't know. I had a hard time with some of them.
Some of them are weird. Yeah.
Yeah, really. Like, yeah, it's like style over substance, but sometimes it's like, all right, it's like it's just at this point it's just a drawing. You know, it's not even. You know, it's almost not a map anymore.
Some of the like planner maps where it has like all the layers are definitely like that. Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
They really went to town though in those old box sets where you get like 4 poster maps.
Yeah, like the
yeah. It's like, oh my god. Yeah.
The planes source books and stuff like that just had tons of maps. That's so.
Oh yeah.
Vixen says, I think they skipped Tales of the Yawning Portal because they were too busy destroying it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically. Sima, they went straight to the lesser-known sequel, Ice Dragons of the Yawning Portal. Oh. Yes, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Lugatroopa from there talks about getting people from different cultural backgrounds involved a few months back. I'm guessing there's some non-Faerun FR stuff in the books. Well, that's the thing about if you do Spelljammer is you could do a Spelljammer adventure and take people to a whole bunch of different settings that maybe don't deserve their own book. So you could do Al-Qadim, which is in the realms, Karatur, which is also in the realms.
And also the realms.
I don't know, like Mystara, you know, all sorts of weird stuff. Blackmoor, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Red Steel. That was the one setting like I never touched. I don't know anything about it.
I don't know nothing about that.
I have no idea. I didn't even know until you said that.
Removed the shrink wrap. You know, that kind of a, you know, Hollow World, which is inside Mystara, all the weird stuff. You could do that, I guess, and then visit the Spelljammer settings like the Rock of Brawl, and I guess the Astromundi cluster, and the actual Spelljammer, the huge mile, like the city ship. You know,
yeah,
I have a box set to that actually right over there. Anyway, this is Waffle Talks. Let's talk about waffles. So they're in this incredible sprawling battle.
Yes.
And there is a harper there, Matrim 3 Strings. And this is the guy Paulton stole the lute from a while back.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out that lute is a magical recording device, and they've been spying on the heroes through it. And the heroes are completely unconcerned about this. They do not.
Whatever.
They're fine with it. So 3 Strings is at the party. He jumps out, and they're just like, "Oh hi, I still have your loot.
Yeah.
See you later."
It's like once you say the harbor, it's like, okay, everything's okay.
Yeah.
It's above board,
And something else we learned: the Black Viper took out the Chickenfoot Coven.
Yeah.
All of them.
Quite handily, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She dropped all of them, including Dearnay Hall, our Shatter Kai friend. Not cool, Black Viper.
I'm sure they'll be fine.
Now, okay, I know some of these. I'm confused.
Okay.
We all know that the Black Viper and Esvel Rajnar are the same person.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I've never seen them in the same room.
Every time they do the show, they blurt it out. Everybody knows.
Yes.
So,
True.
They went to the auction, Lady Rajnar's auction, where she's auctioning off the Stone of Galore. So why is she at the Waffle Crew's house looking for the stone? She already had the stone. She's selling it.
Well, I think she wanted
Why is
them.
she at their house? That's what I don't get.
I think her things are like she wanted them.
For what?
One of their cricket pies. I don't know.
I almost think that she was trying to lure all the other factions to the auction and didn't expect them to go.
Yeah.
Almost.
I mean, it's a good distraction if you want to go to the actual vault and like deal with it while the other factions are,
murdering each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's not, I guess. I don't get it.
Maybe there was a complication in getting into the thing that she needs them for.
Luca Trupa says Spelljammer was really popular with the RPGA crowd. Actually, I went to cons way back then, and people did not like Spelljammer. They liked Dark Sun.
Oh, right? Dark Sun's fun.
There was Dark Sun. The min-maxers went nuts with Dark Sun. And then the slightly more cool kids like Planescape. And Spelljammer was for people who smelled like farts. That's my general person, that was what I don't know. That was my guess. I could be wrong. But those cons were very smelly. Look at Trupa.
They always are.
Cons are in Mystara. Yeah. True. Saima, still very much on board for Saima is still very much on board for taking the Waffle Crew to space.
Oh yeah.
They should go to space at some point.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
They should.
100%.
They should definitely go to space on a Spelljammer. That would be really cool.
Yes.
Look at Troopa says there's magic metal that mutates people. And Simon points out that sounds very metal. It does. Actually, Dieth failed his insight check on the live show, so he wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh.
On what?
That she's the Black Viper?
Yeah.
Oh, Dieth doesn't know that she's the Black Viper.
You know, considering like what happened, how dire the situation, I'm kind of sad that Paulton isn't doing his Dark Knight routine in front of the Black Viper. Just like,
that's so true.
Just like,
you're
is this what this looks like? This is what it looks like in front of everyone else?
You're right.
Oh no,
she's Catwoman.
she is. Oh my god.
Or it's just seeing your own like stick in front of yourself. Like it's like,
yeah.
Is this what this looks like?
You're totally right.
And
shouldn't Simon be Robin? The Boy Wonder?
Oh my god.
I think he should. Right?
You aren't wrong. Yeah. I can see it.
Look at Troopa. I think it'd be a pretty good move to have them be different people in this show. So have Esvel and the Black Viper actually be different people. That sounds definitely like something Chris would do to change it up from the book. That is a really cool idea. Maybe they're twins. Or one is from that reflected world, the Shadowfell. It's like one is Esvel and one is the Shadowfell version of Esvel or whatever.
Or it's some like weird two souls, one body thing where like it's almost like dual personalities. That'd be interesting.
Yes.
She's one of my favorite guests. She's awesome. She's so funny. Like she's one of those people who's just like boom. Oh, you know what else? Brooks was really cool too. I really like him.
Yeah, actually.
Yes.
I liked him better in the past two episodes, I think, than I did in the Trolltide one, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't have much to do on this one.
No.
But, I feel like he should be on another show. You know, I don't know. It's so weird. It's like they dug him up from seemingly nowhere. You know, but he should definitely be on one of their other shows. He's really good. He seems like he'd be a really good DM. I don't know. Let's see. Sima. Maybe the Viper got hit with the stones for. Oh,
Maybe.
right. Good point. Maybe the Viper got hit with the stones forgetting Mojo and didn't remember having it or selling it.
Possible.
Oh,
Definitely.
yeah.
You're right, Simon.
Yeah, that's right.
You're right. You're totally right. Look at Troopa. Oh, Simon is Robin. That's why he's dead. Oh.
Oh.
No.
Rip.
I think it was the second Robin.
It was the second Robin. They did the call in.
Jason Todd.
Yep.
Where they had people call in on a toll-free phone number.
Yep.
Do you want him to die or live? And they voted for him to die because the character was kind of a jerk. You know, it'd be interesting if they did that with Simon. Simon would live. He would live.
Are you?
Nobody wants him to die.
I would.
Anna has talked about, getting the audience involved. That would be an interesting way to do it.
I mean,
Simon live or die. You do a Twitter poll.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Yes. I would like to see that. Is there any other NPCs they could do that with? Waffles? Nobody wants to see Waffles die.
No one wants to see Waffles die.
The kids?
I think
the other kids?
I don't know, they're kids.
I would like them to die.
Oh my God, Sean.
I don't like how it splits the focus. A lot of the shows, it's like they're playing the kids and their characters, and it really slows it down.
That's true.
For me, I would like it to be simplified.
It's a lot of juggling, DM and player wise.
I don't quite understand why it happens. You know what I mean? Like, why are we doing this? You know what I mean? I don't know.
I think they probably enjoy playing the kids.
Yeah,
so
like
Chris gives them
Jared's little kid voice is freaking hilarious. So, and Anna is really awesome with her character. And actually, they're all pretty awesome. Holly, I love it when Holly does the Jenks voice. It's like, well, I'll save you. That's really funny. Actually, Nate's really good with his too. No, it's good. Like, it's not so much that I don't like the characters. I feel like it's too much.
Yeah,
I would like to focus more on the Waffle crew, than on the kids. They are really good. They are really good running those kid characters, though.
Yeah, I think the kids are good for like specials or like a con game because you kind of just do whatever with them.
Yeah.
Look at Troopa. I think it'd be a pretty good move to have them be different people in the show. Sima. Maybe the Viper got hit with this. All right, we did that.
Yep, we did.
Vixen. I cannot see Paulton and Black Viper. Well, they would be enemies or fellow anti-heroes. Delusional weirdos, Sima. Holy Alistair, Paulton. Yeah, that would be really cool, actually. I would like that.
They could climb up the side of the building and we get a special celebrity guest appearance.
Go up like that. I would really like that. Or, do like the Batman Forever, do that.
Costume. Have bat nipples?
Right, exactly. Vixen. Simon has to live. Look at Troopa. In my opinion, it should be a toll-free number still, since they're leaning into pre-2000s D&D nostalgia with this edition. I don't even know if toll-free numbers still exist. I don't think anybody under the age of 30 knows what a toll-free number is. And as far as I understand, younger people have a real fear of talking on the phone. They much prefer texting to talking, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm not sure how many 1-800 numbers. I don't know if it's like nostalgia because a lot of the people playing D&D are young, right? A lot. ton of
That's
them.
one of the weird things, because I think they did, like, they had the play test and like the polls when they were testing D&D Next, where like, do you want this from this edition or this from this edition? So there's definitely a lot of stuff that they pulled from older stuff and brought back. But at the same time, yeah, a lot of the players, like, this is their first edition of D&D, so it's weird. There is a lot of nostalgic stuff that they added in because older players wanted it, but then new players come in and it doesn't really mean anything to them.
Yeah, I definitely mean that.
I just think that they're keeping a continuity. The things that happened in other editions counted, which I really appreciate. And second, was where all the settings came out. Third incorporated some a little bit, and fourth did a bit as well, but for a lot of it,
I've been reading old, like, Dungeon magazine from third edition. I'm actually surprised how much stuff from like
those
old editions are in there.
Paizo dungeons are so freaking good.
Yeah, like they mentioned
barf that more people don't know about them. Like, it's a gold mine, a total gold mine. They're so good.
Like, there's an article about the Yugoloth Books of Keeping, which are mentioned in the 5th edition monster manual in like one line. But there's a Planescape NPC who is writing like a new edition of it in one of the Planescape books, and it mentions in that article that he finished the new edition. So there's more of the Books of Keeping out there now, and I was like, awesome. Whoa, that's awesome!
Awesome,
Yes.
Vixen, Jared's Martin voice brings me so much joy. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Luca Troopa, you are under the age of 30, so that must mean that you are terrified of phone calls. What else do we know about? I don't know. Is that a millennial?
Yes.
What else do we know about millennials? They're killing TGI Fridays. I think I read an article.
That was maybe fine. That's for the best.
But
stop killing TGI Fridays.
They're killing newspapers.
And there's a lot of articles. Why aren't millennials buying houses? Really?
Yeah, please.
I wonder why.
Expensive.
Yeah. Oh, Sima. No, I'm not reading that one out loud.
You can read it on the thing.
Bag bulge. All right. Vixen. Oh, you have a working cord phone. Holy cow. That's
wow.
Look, we unplugged the corded phone in 2012, but we still have a house phone. Oh, okay. Having read pretty much all of Dragon Dungeon and Polyhedron, I lament the fact that 5e doesn't have something like... Yeah, they really need a Dragon magazine and a Dungeon magazine, in my opinion. And I feel like DM's Guild is like, all you got to do is, all the people you need is right there. Yeah. You just grab the good stuff and start slapping it in issues and clean it up
and they could easily be PDFs like the 4th edition. It would still work for me.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
Nice. Sima. We still had a rotary phone till last year, and I'll tell you, there's no more satisfying way to dial a number than a rotary phone.
I do not miss those.
Vixen loves TGI Fridays. Well, I guess that goes to show that you can't put people in a box. And I'm from the Generation X. And the one thing about my generation is that we hate talking about generations, because all you ever hear growing up is about the baby boomers. Every movie was about the 60s, and you wanted to die. Just shut up. Just shut up about it. And they would never shut up about it. And so now there's the millennials. The millennials talk about the millennials, and the baby boomers talk about the baby boomers, and they freaking argue, and you're just like, just shut up.
You can feast on you'll just watch us fight, and then you'll feast upon whoever's left, because we'll be so weak after that.
The remains.
It's so vain, and it's too broad. You can't really put everybody in a box like that. You can't say every baby boomer is this or every millennial is that. The
Well,
one thing
even like everyone has different like the age, like the cutoffs are so like arbitrary. It's like, I don't.
The one thing I would say though is that I hate it when people talk bad about millennials because I know we're getting off topic. I was a manager at a toy store and at a movie theater, and all of my employees were millennials, and they were awesome. All of them were awesome, and like they were much better than kids were when I was growing up. And it makes me so mad when I hear older people badmouth them because it's like you are clueless, you're clueless.
Yeah, most
These
people are.
these people they got it. It's a whole thing. They don't, they get paid nothing. It's horrible. All right. Anyway, did you know, everybody, that this auction took place inside of the globe held by one of the walking statues?
That's
I
pretty
know.
cool. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Love the giant statues. They're
I don't
cool,
remember
but
what this one is
creepy.
called.
It's the God Catcher.
God catcher.
Because it's like on its knees, holding the orb, floating above it. My character posed as that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
The walking statues are cool.
Yeah,
they are
terrifying.
Totally.
Cool.
Definitely something. It would be cool to focus on that on this show, Dice Camera Action. The walking statues. Have something happen that involves them. I know Chris probably doesn't want to, because I know Acquisitions Inc. They had a giant Hallister statue that went on a rampage. He probably doesn't want to repeat himself, but I hope he does something with them because they're cool.
Yeah, they're cool. There was a I think James Ricasa put like a adventure out the
yes
Planet Tarrasque, and the Tarrasque like land in Waterdeep, and like it's like a fight between like you're in the midst of like it's a fight between like the statues and like Tarrasque. It was pretty.
That sounds
yeah,
awesome.
that adventure looks awesome.
It sounds really cool. It's level 20. Maybe I could run that.
Yeah.
Yes,
level
please.
20. Yeah.
I'd love to do that.
I guess let me real quick. Vixen phone booths. They really don't have phone booths anymore, do they?
I remember phone booths.
Look at Troopa. Gen X is the one that really likes Scooby Doo. Look at Troopa. Gen X is about Nirvana and the Big Punisher. Okay, he's got what you're looking for. All right. So just so you know, Vixen back in my day, yes. Blah blah blah. Sima, you can put millennials in a box, but they'll just go on their mobile phones. Yeah, but everybody goes on. That's the thing. People complain about millennials and their mobile. Everybody does. Old people do. Go to the airport. They're all staring at their phones, no matter how old they are. Vixen. I don't know, but I like the Scooby-Doo show from 1969. Yeah. Look at Trooper. That auction house is messed up when the statues walk again. See, that would be awesome if they were having that auction house fight and all of a sudden that statue animated and they were all fighting inside it. That would have been awesome.
Yes.
They should do that. They should definitely do that. Vixen, I wonder how much it is to rent that auction house.
Good question.
Probably.
Probably.
Look at Troopa.
Nobles can hack.
I think they call Nirvana Mechanist. Oh, well done. True. Sima, that Tarrasque versus statue fight sounds so Pacific Rim. I love it. It does. That sounds really cool.
I love kaiju battles.
Hard to mechanically. That would be tricky to run. But once you, I guess, if the adventure came up with some good mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Zaraj the Hunter is set up outside the Waffle House. And he's orders not to hurt the kids. Why is he shooting really big arrows?
Oh, he's got that giant freaking bow.
Yeah.
So he's a giant bow?
It's yes.
Is that in the adventure?
Yes, he does. It is.
Yeah. It's a good picture of.
I think it's called like oversized longbow in the adventure, and you need like a 16 strength to use it. It's so big.
This is a really big bow.
Yeah, and I think this is the first time we've actually seen him. But like he's fired arrows in previous fights.
It's like
he killed one of the doppelgangers in the house, and he attacked the Zentarum in the Manchun episodes.
Yeah, so. I mean, big oversized longbow or small ballista it's up to your.
Oh yeah.
Look, Trooper, Mecha Kaiju stuff is why I want Spirit Warriors back in the game. Spirit Warriors and Witchlight Marauders would be really cool. Saima, are those ghost arrows a canon item? I don't know. Who shot the arrows that disappeared? I don't remember. Was it a drow?
I don't remember.
You stumped us. Stump Waffle Talk. You just want to.
Oh no, that's not hard. That's
You
not
just
hard
want
for
a
me.
no prize.
No.
All right. Your reward is I'm going to mail you a waffle.
Oh, nice. Does it have syrup on it, or is it just a waffle?
Of course.
Oh, nice.
Strix used Word of Recall to get the group
Good
home.
old Word of Recall.
Diath, as we mentioned, Diath put the stone in his bag of holding. Paulton ended up with the bag. How did Paulton end up with the bag?
He gave the bag.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Zaraj shoots Diath with 2 giant arrows. Dark Elves attack. So the Dark Elves came through the basement? Was that the deal?
Probably.
And the imps came from wherever they came from, like last time?
Yeah, wherever they de-invisible
So
themselves.
the imps are sent from the Castle Lanters. The Drow are from Jarlaxle. Black Viper is her own thing. And Zaraj is from the Zentarim. So really, it's just another faction fight, but now it's spilled into the house. And Sister Narai is running there as well.
The same fight with just slightly different people until the other half of that fight shows up again.
Yeah. If only they'd taken Jarlaxle with them.
If only.
Also, I think there'd be a lot less people looking down on elves if they walked in big bug corpses. True. They have a lot of cool gear in Spelljammer. Vixen, I understand how he shot Diath because of windows, but how did he shoot Paulton? Why? Where was Paulton? Somewhere with no windows?
I don't remember.
Maybe the arrows are just so huge.
There's not much of the house left. There's probably holes all over that thing.
That's true.
The house was on fire and exploded.
Chris is running this theater of the mind, and it's very, very complicated. And I bet he just didn't describe it. I would guess, because there's so many bad guys that it's really hard to keep up and keep the game flowing, But I mean, he's doing something that's very hard. Like the auction house fight was in 2 rooms connected by a doorway, and he was trying to keep clear who was in which room and who could see the other person, and it mattered because of the counter spells and stuff. So now he brought that over to the Waffle House, and he's got this bad guy that's outside, some coming up from the basement, some people are on the 2nd floor. He's doing a really tricky thing here, and it's like, this might be an instance where he could have used a map on the screen, but he doesn't do that, So But this is one where it was like it was a little hard to keep track of everything for me. I got confused at certain, like, who was where, who's upstairs, who's downstairs. I couldn't keep track.
How many targets there are,
Yeah.
How many people are around. Yeah.
I wasn't sure where the drow had come from in the beginning. There's a lot of stuff like that. What? Okay, wait a second. Sima loves moldy dairy products in the mail.
Nice.
Do you do not want to? Don't go drinking that stuff. Look at Troopa. Syrup's weird in my head now because I'm watching Riverdale. Was there syrup on Riverdale?
Happened on Riverdale.
I don't know.
Oh no.
You have a problem with syrup? Sima. He was the one shooting with the ghost arrows. Who was? All right. Sima. Vixen. There's a whole conversation here. Wall hacks. That could have been it. There might be an X-ray item as well. That's right. Yeah. Or maybe there was just no roof. Also true. All right. Here's another question that I have. Okay, so Strix casts Conjure Elemental. Normally the casting time on that is 1 minute, but I think she used her staff to do it. So, okay, I got 2 questions. One, I think that Chris might waive the casting time and let her do it simultaneously. Normally.
You want a giant chicken?
But is there a rule? I don't know, that says that if you cast a spell with the staff, that it only takes like around or whatever?
I don't think so. I think it's just like you maybe just wave the component items, but
you don't use components. Yeah, I think the casting time.
I think people just want to see, like, people know you want to see a giant, elemental chicken.
Stuff.
Because that's actually pretty consistent with the way Chris runs stuff. He does, like, he let them when Paulton would go to summon the Waffle Hut. You're supposed to take a minute or something, but he does it in a second. So this, makes sense. That is a thing I see quite a bit in D&D now. People not realizing the casting time of some spells are longer than others.
Yeah.
That comes up on like shows and stuff that it slips right by. But I mean, it's not a big deal. But
certain ritual spells or something like that.
But it matters, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason that those spells have the longer casting time. It's because they're powerful.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, like, I think the Waffle Hut is less of an issue now, just because like they've been hitting like consistently, and spellcasters that can cast Disintegrate.
Yeah,
you just knock that thing out.
Yep.
Yeah, Simon says Chris forgets casting time sometimes. Yeah, it's true. And like I don't, it doesn't really bother me. It's just I kind of want to know why. Is it just because Chris forgot, or is it because Chris has decided that because the group
it could be a little
suboptimal,
yeah.
So he lets things like this slide, or maybe he lets it slide just because he doesn't want to stop and look everything up.
Also possible.
It's like, it's a little trade-off you have to make in your. It's a lot of things to like consider when you're thinking of DMing like that.
Oh yeah. I wonder if the chat pointed it out. I didn't.
Oh, they
did.
Every once in a while.
They do. All right.
Chat always points it out.
So right towards the end, somebody obviously cast Evard's Black Tentacles on the tap room.
Mm-hmm.
Who cast that? Do we know?
I gotta look something up. My first thought is it might have been a Drow mage. They didn't see.
Oh right, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. I just looked it up on their stat block. They have Evard's Black Tentacles. Yep. Okay.
So there's a Drow mage that showed up. So they all came in through the sewer.
Probably,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. The Waffle crew sewer, doesn't know how to put security in their house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That would be a hard. Even if they seal up the sewer entrance, I mean, it's just a house. People could. There's a million ways.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a house and barely that.
But it is
barely that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like they need a home, like a planar home.
Yeah.
To be truly safe, because the house is not safe.
The house is not. The house cannot withstand the punishment they're dishing out to it regularly.
Yeah, they need a home in a pocket dimension. That's what they.
Yeah. There's a magic item that might be useful for that. It's called like a rod of security.
Yeah.
You can have up to like 200 people in there, and I think for like it has enough air for 1 hour for every 200 for every one person.
Oh, okay.
Up to 200. So it has 200 hours worth of air divided by however many people are in there. So.
And then we get to the end where the imps sting Simon and he dies, and Paulton also dropped to 0 and was making death saves.
Yeah.
And that's how we stopped. And still, I mean, the next session is going to be just another sprawling combat.
It's combat escape.
Zentrim and Sister Narai is going to show up. The Black Viper is there. It's going to be a big thing.
Yeah, they don't have their recall or the recall anymore.
No.
Nope. Paulton is down. I don't know who knows that Paulton is down because he's upstairs, I think.
Yeah.
So he's just going to be making death saves. And Evelyn's still dancing.
Yeah.
Still.
Because if not, like, Evelyn could, like, she does have that effect. Like, if she was to get out of it, she could. That healing on radiant damage would be very helpful.
Yeah.
She
needs to make her save. God. It's gonna be a it could go a lot of different ways, this next one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Should be good to watch. Let's see. Those tentacles are 100. Oh no, Sima. Those tentacles are 100% gonna insta kill all the kids.
If they're in the 20-foot square, it's not a huge area for the black tentacles, so maybe hopefully they're out.
That would be grim.
Just murder all the kids in one episode. Yeah.
Evard's black tentacles.
Yeah. We
Strangle them all to death.
have not seen Waffles in this thing yet. So
Yeah.
Waffles still.
Sure.
Yeah.
Waffles can clear house.
Yeah. We didn't. Simon says we didn't leave initiative once this session.
Yeah, that's.
It's just gonna roll right into the next one.
This is not the record for how long the initiative.
No, it's not. It's not. But still,
it's like a 4th edition poster map fight, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a gigantic thing. But let's see. Simon knows Paulton is down. Well, Simon's down.
They both know.
Evelyn will see him after she leaves the panic room. Waffles is upstairs. And Simon is having Iron Slag flashbacks.
This is 100%. Like, this is less bad than Iron Slag, I think, even though Paulton and Simon are down.
As long as Megara doesn't show up in Waterdeep, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
That would be cool. And
then it would be.
And the walking statues fight it. Yeah. That would be cool.
Yes, that would be awesome.
All right. Well, I think we have covered the entire episode. Is there anything else either of you wanted to bring up?
Oh, last session, Strix talked in that weird voice, and we had thought it was like Asmodeus, because that was the most obvious. But Chris clarified that it was deep speech that she spoke, which is like, mind flayer language.
Oh, good. Oh, no.
So
that's not good.
She have an intellective hour in her brain?
I don't know. Or Warrington Illithid put
she have
a
tadpole?
That's what I was thinking. She might. And we know it takes a while for it to eat the brain and take over.
Yeah.
So,
she has a tadpole.
Who knows?
She'll turn into a mind flayer.
Oh.
That'd be fun.
Wow.
Oh, no.
It's certainly a way to get them into Undermountain.
Yeah, maybe.
Oof.
How did she get the tadpole?
I mean, they were with Warrington for like months.
Months, yeah.
Was there a time where she was unconscious or sleeping?
Every night?
Every night in the house, yeah. So who knows?
Do they all have tadpoles?
Maybe.
Who knows?
That's possible.
Does Simon have no, right? Don't some of them still have the slug soul thing?
Two of them do.
Yeah, right.
And Strix have the
larva.
Evil souls still there.
Maybe. Good point.
Right. Well,
I mean, Paulton at least has had his disintegrated out at least.
So Chris clarified that that's what that was. It was deep.
That's what it was. Yeah. It
was not Strix ass. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It wasn't infernal.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest things for me, for sure. That and them not taking Jarlaxle. Because both of those seem like they're going to come back in a big way.
All right. Well, let's wrap this mother up. Shauna, you got any plugs?
Yep. On Fridays on Encounter Roleplay, I'm playing in the 2D20 system test for Octung Cthulhu, which we are about to do some serious damage episode. I'm very excited for that. And then on Saturday at 6:30 p.m., it's Hell's Rebels time and this channel. I'm excited. We might go outside the city, and it'll be fun to have our rogue back, who unfortunately got us to sign horrible contracts. There'll be some payback.
Dylan, do you have any plugs?
Well, funny you should ask. On Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern time on this channel, we're playing episode 2 of Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Bum, bum, bum. We're in level 1 of Undermountain and kind of beat up / intimidated a bunch of goth kids who are pretending to be vampires. So
Chris Crash has survived one session. We'll see if Chris Crash survives another session.
Yes, there's a GIF assassin after our Kobold Sorcerer. So
I
see how that goes.
For Chris Crash.
I was joking.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell if I hope Scotty didn't take that personally that I wanted him to have his GIF. It's just like he mentioned that he was going to make a GIF, so I was really surprised when all of a sudden he was doing a kobold.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, yeah, and then on Sunday, everybody, I'll be running Dungeon Academy at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, where the group is split up. Half of them are in Barovia, and the other half are going to the city of Sigil, which we were talking about today. So if you want to check that out, I'll be whipping out the old Planescape slang and describing the Donut City. So
Make some deals with Shemeshka, please. Have them make some deals with Shemeshka.
I'll probably dig out my, I ran a Planescape campaign and I actually had art commissioned for that, so I'll probably roll some of that out too.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Nice.
That art. Yeah.
Very nice.
So thank you, and thank you everybody in the chat. It was awesome. You make it a bajillion times better, and I really appreciate it. So thank you, Sima, Vixen, Lookatroopa, Akapan, and everybody else. And we will see you again next week. Thanks a lot, and goodbye.
Bye-bye.